The picturesque Serengeti Estates hosted the 2023 edition of the Chris Berger Petro Jackson Players Fund Golf Day. As players past and present, businessmen and supporters of the rugby initiative took to the sublime Jack Nicklaus signature design championship course for a round of golf to raise awareness and funds for a worthy cause. Near-perfect conditions greeted the golfers of various abilities, but on a day when the camaraderie meant more than a player's handicap, the focus was on a good time on a trying and unforgiving signature course.
It's a great feeling. I think a lot of anxiety building up into a week like this where there's quite a lot of expectation, but huge support from the rugby legends, great support from Corporate South Africa and all our sponsor partners. We're very, very stoked to see everyone here. It's been a great start so far.
As chairman, I've got rather big boots to fill. You know, it really is just that, the fiduciary duty, the meetings, making sure that the fund actually assists where we're meant to assist. You know, the Players Fund is also the official charity of the Springboks, so that link will always be there, and we fulfill a role that is essential, you know, to play rugby on amateur and on a professional level in South Africa. So to see the guys give back and contribute, you know, it's pretty cool.
It's always nice to see some of your old mates that you've played with and that you've played against, and here for a very good cause, of course. My players, what they've done over the years is just amazing. So I think it's going to be a great day.
With the backing of South Africa's premier sports betting brand, the aim is on creating a long-lasting relationship for the Players Fund to continue the incredible work it does to ensure rugby remains a safe contact sport with all the structures in place to support those in need should injury curtail their playing careers.
It's a privilege for us to be involved. It's really something we take seriously. We've always looked to give back to sport in some way, shape or form as a brand. And I think this for us, when we started our engagements with SA Rugby about becoming an associate Springbok sponsor, they introduced us to Mark and the team from the Players Fund, and it's just been an absolute no-brainer for us. We really loved getting involved and giving back to people who really have a need. Unfortunately through sports, really need the support, and so a great way for us to do that.
The Players Fund chairman, Jean de Villiers, along with former Springbok captain Victor Madfield and 2019 World Cup winner Skulk Brits, certainly played their part to keep their respective four balls on their toes while navigating the sensational 18 holes at Serengeti.
Rugby is a contact sport. Rugby, you know, you will at some stage get injured in rugby. And to know that there is a fund that looks after you if an injury like that occurs, or at least that there are processes in place so that it is not an injury that gets you in a wheelchair or anything like that, I think that is of value to the players. In saying that, rugby still remains a safe sport. The millions of people that has played rugby in the last 40 years since the fund's existence, you know, we only have about 100 recipients currently. So, you know, on average, it is still safe, and rugby teaches us so much. And I think the fact that the guys come back and contribute and assist with a fund like this shows the quality of people that we have in the rugby fraternity.
With the rules, with everything, they try and keep rugby, make it safer even more. But again, injuries do happen, but I mean, you need the right people at the ground. Even if it's an amateur game, it's easy to do it at the professional level, but I mean, in the amateur game, doesn't matter where people play, there needs to be medics, there needs to be people that can look after someone if they do get injured, and I think that's the great work that they do.
The 15th provided added incentive for the field, with Betway offering a mouth-watering grand prize for anyone who could claim a hole-in-one on a tricky hole that gobbled up many a golf ball as the breeze picked up. While on the 6th, there was a proudly South African Moby golf cart on offer for anyone who could find the bullseye.
Yeah, so we sponsored one of the par 3s today, and for a hole-in-one, there's 100,000 Rand to the person who hits it, and obviously we're going to match that and give another 100,000 to the Players Fund itself. So yeah, no good deed. Let's hope for some good golf today. Yeah, and hold thumbs for another 100,000 over and above our existing kind of partnership with the fund.
I'm representing Moby G Golf Carts. We are the first and only South African designed and manufactured golf carts in South Africa. We are offering a Moby G Golfer. It's our two-seater version as a hole-in-one prize valued at 190. That in, and so yeah, whoever puts it in the hole walks away with his own South African designed and built Moby G.
Players Fund ambassador Evan Etzebeth popped in for a visit. And although he couldn't play golf due to a shoulder injury, it didn't prevent the Bot Block from giving Chairman John de Villiers advice on what club to play.
Yeah, obviously for the Chris Berger Petra Jackson Fund, I think what they do for players with serious injuries, neck and spinal, it's great for players to know there's something like that. I know no one ever wants to get injured, but to know there is people looking after you, it's a great cause. And yeah, my players obviously looking after South African rugby players, it's a great cause. It's a rough contact sport, you never know what's going to happen. We obviously try and make the game safer, but I mean, accidents do happen, and that's why it's great that we're looking after players.
Huge support from Betway, and you know the conversations with them are long-term support where they offer support for these amazing events which are so critical for our support and the support that we offer our recipients. And without them, it becomes much harder. So we've got a great relationship. We're doing a couple of amazing events with them, and we're building a great partnership together.
We've actually committed to a multi-year kind of sponsorship of the Players Fund or investment into the Players Fund. Again, to your point earlier, I think this is really where there's a lot of need within the rugby space. So the once-off really wasn't something we wanted to do, and obviously I think that we've worked with the fund and we've got some really cool initiatives coming up in the next couple of years. It's a multi-year investment from our side, great partnership, and I really feel like this is a brilliant partnership. Mark and the team from the fund have been unbelievable. They've got some really cool initiatives. I think they struggled during COVID along with a lot of other businesses and funds along these sorts of lines, so great to be building that momentum, and really awesome for us to be a part of that journey and helping them kind of build the momentum for both brands and both sides.
What people probably don't know about the fund is how much work goes into rugby safety. We are the co-founders of VoxSmart in South Africa. It's run by SA Rugby, but we are partners and we work closely with them. And we are the arm that brings in all the data for all the serious injuries in the country. So there's a lot of work that goes into the fund, not just on the recipient side, which are our long-term, Players Fund family, but we're involved in a lot of the aspects of it.
I think the reason that we are able to get these guys to come play is because you know the value of the fund being there whilst you're a player. In that rugby is a contact sport. Rugby, you will at some stage get injured in rugby. And to know that there is a fund that looks after you if an injury like that occurs, or at least that there are processes in place so that it is not an injury that gets you in a wheelchair or anything like that, I think that is of value to the players.
It's so important to look after our players because we love this game and we love the physicality about it, we love the contact, but you want things in place to look after the players. You don't want someone to end up in a wheelchair or being really injured. So I think we want to get stuck into each other because we love it, but we need the people there that can support someone if there's an injury or something that happened to a player.
As the sun began to set across the magnificently manicured course, the players started to turn in their scorecards. And despite the competitiveness, the day was about raising money and supporting a cause that now, in its 43rd year, is still changing lives, providing players who don a rugby jersey, regardless of the level they're playing, peace of mind, and playing a huge part in the sport loved by millions across the Rainbow Nation.